And we're back. Okay, so this Matrix game that we all were born into, so this Matrix game that we all were born into, here we go. Okay, so this Matrix game that we were all born into, we, every experience that we have, all the heartbreak, heartache, and all of those things that has taken place. I'm sorry, my hair was bothering me. That was taking place in your life, you signed up for it. Don't get in my comments, start talking BS about why would I want this to happen to me, blah, 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 blah. Your experiences are to trigger you into remembering who you are. Let me say that again for those in the back. Your experiences are to trigger you into remembering who you are. And so I've gone through some shit. And a lot of it surrounds the heart. I've been stalked. I was date raped. I was attacked. I've been in car accidents. Face hit the windshield, and literally the year that the windshield became shatterless was the year that my face hit the windshield. So I didn't go through the windshield. And I didn't have my seatbelt on. I don't think I had my seatbelt on. But back then it wasn't even matter. Listen, I'm telling my age. This is the 90s. This was 1990. It wasn't really mandatory to click it and ticket. That was the new slogan, because there was so many accidents and people were getting injured and dying because they didn't have a seatbelt on. But fortunately, I was so slumped down so far into my seat that it wasn't like I was projected. Like some people, when they get in an accident, they get projected and their whole body goes up. Well, when my body went up, it was like maybe just my shoulder that kind of hit the dashboard, but my face hit the windshield. And I was asleep. And the doctor said because I was asleep, that's why I didn't break the bones in my face. I got 6 stitches and that was about it. But I divert. And so you would think I wouldn't put that in my contract now. And so, but it was doing one of my healing that I said this without even knowing that really what it meant was, if all of the things that I've gone through can help one person heal their heart, it was all done. It wasn't done in vain. And that's what I mean by those moments, those experiences. They only last for a few moments. It's the lessons and everything afterwards that, one, how you respond to it. I suppressed a lot. And so starting asking questions about life itself. It was one point in time I was going to unalive myself until my higher self came in. And I'm not laughing about the unaliving. I'm laughing on how it played out, on how my higher self came in. And we had a conversation. Big Nikki came in. It was like, look, okay, so let's sit down and we're going to work out how we're going to do this. So if you take pills and they go wrong, they got to pump your stomach. You don't like throwing up. You don't like that whole process. Nope, sure don't. Okay, next. Okay, so my dad was a cop. So there was a lot of pew-pews all around the house. And she said, so you can grab one of these 22s and go ahead and, shoot yourself. And then what? What if you don't die? you're going to be worse off than what you are right now. You're right. 'Cause I want to walk around. I like to think. I like to problem solve. I like, okay, we ain't finna do that. We're not finna mess myself worse than what I am now. So scratch that out the list. Then it's talking about, the knife. You got to have some pressure on the knife to actually slice. And the knife got to be sharp too. Because once you feel the pain from the initial, you gon' normal reaction will be drop it. And so she just pointed out, sit your ass down somewhere because you ain't doing this. And I was like, you right. And then, we went outside. That was the end of that conversation with me. That was the end of my conversation because what if it don't go right? Well, what if it don't go the way that I think it's going to go? Okay, so just go sit down somewhere and sort this out. That was a short conversation that I had with me. Big Nikki and me had that conversation. Okay, and so going back to your soul contract, you have contracts with people. You put those people into your contract. Some of them was just designed to trigger you. So that's saying that some people are around for a season and for a reason. That's because the reason you put it inside your soul contract is to either trigger you, to strengthen your boundaries, to stand up for yourself, to choose you, to stand in your power. You can't stand in your power without conflict. You can't see how resilient your storm windows are if there's never a storm. You get it? And so in those inner battles that I had, when people was trying to really dim my light and push me down and tell me who I was, my voice, which was, now I know, was Big Nikki telling me the total opposite. And so I didn't believe a lot of things. So sometimes it took me a little slow to respond. But I this is, I'd say, I had a voice to motivate me. I know now that was Big Nikki telling me, get your ass up. That's not the truth. We know the truth. Do you really want to know the truth? You kept saying you want to know the truth, so we're finna tell you the truth. And that's all I kept asking. Whatever it is, I just want to know the truth. I'm not going to make it up in my head. I just want to know the truth. And when I see the truth, hear the truth, that I know it's the truth. And that's what happened. Eyes was open. I started seeing people who they really were and what they were actually doing. And Source always told me in my dreams what people were doing too. And people took my kindness for a weakness. Now I'm a Pisces. Just like the Gemini, we got two. There's two fish. And I tell them, they was like, oh, you just too nice. Let me stay on this side. Because you don't want to see the other side. I promise you don't want to see the other side. And they just thought, I was just, I don't know, lying or what. I don't know. I tell them that, look, one side of the fish that's down, she pretty, she tropical, she got all her scales, got all type of colors. She just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Me and Dora used to hang out, okay? We just swimming along, having our own little life. That's what it was. But you keep poking the bear and had people kept thinking, oh, she ain't gonna do nothing. She ain't gonna say nothing. Until they let that damn piranha out. If you don't know what a piranha is, look it up. Just leave me alone. Don't poke the bear. You're going to fuck around and find out. And I always say I was a warrior in my past life. And I'm still a warrior. I just learned I know how to control it. I pick my battles. I don't have to fight everything. And now I don't have to say anything at all. I know how to transmute energy for my purpose Whatever negativity that's being sent my way, I guarantee you, I take that energy and transmute it, and I will stand on it as it elevates me. Every time someone says my name, prosperity comes my way. No matter what it is. Growth comes my way. Expansion comes my way. All for my highest good. You use that. Because words have power. Whatever words that you speak, especially when you put feeling, authority, power behind it, it comes to pass. Know this. So now that I've stepped into my power, I've gone through healing to learn, to teach people how to step into their power. Let me tell you how to use my music. My music is activations. My music will transform your life. You don't listen to my music like you would listen to Drake, Beyonce, the Isley Brothers. You don't listen to my music that way. And music has a frequency. And if you listen to some of these artists, they tell you that some of the record labels tell them what frequency to have their music playing on, the tone, because that frequency guides you. It transforms you. It goes deep into your subconscious. So with that in mind, my music does the same thing. But what my music does is heal, elevate. It reminds you of who you are. It activates your DNA. It activates your power. So listen to these songs. These songs were created out of my own pathway. My song, I Choose Me, and I still listen to that today because every moment of the day, I choose me. And when you start to choose you, your life will change. Don't be hurt, don't be sad when you start seeing people, places, things, jobs fall away. They weren't yours in the first place. You're probably in places that you had no business being anyway. If your life is in an upheaval, you are being shifted. You are being taken out of the places you had no business in the first place. Take a breath. Breathe in. Breathe out resistance. Breathe in peace. Because no matter what you're going through, you can choose to roll with the chaos or let the chaos roll while you're in peace. The choice is yours. Always. The choice is yours. So when you choose you and you decide to be who you are supposed to be, not what your mama wants you to be, not what your husband wants you to be, not what your wife, your girlfriend, whoever, not even your kids want you to be. See, when you were born, you had a contract. Your contract says who you are. That's the only thing that you follow, is that contract. So, I Choose Me was my anthem to finally stop self-sacrificing, to stop trying to people please and perform. That was a trauma response that I had because of how my daddy treated me from birth. I wasn't the son that he wanted, even though I was his twin. Athletic, like he was. Had his face. I was his twin. But because I wasn't a male, I was treated as if I didn't exist, literally, in the same house. It was just him, my mom, and my sister, and that was it. It was just, oh, and that other kid. And so the people pleasing, to look at me, hey, I'm worthy, acknowledge me, all of that was a trauma response for my daddy issues. And so once I let that go and said, that wasn't a me issue, that was a him issue. That was his issue. I had nothing to do with that. I was a baby. I didn't have anything to do with that. But that was in my contract. Why would I do that to me? To remind me that I stand in my power. To remind me of who I am. To show me that there will be people that won't like me just because of who I am. Not because I did anything to them, just because of who I am. And that is a them issue. That's not a me issue. I have nothing to do with that. I'm just stand in my authentic self. No performances, no people pleasing, no trying to, hey, look at me, I am a good person, look, I'm fun. Hey, those that's supposed to know me will. Those that are not, they'll be moved. And I'm okay with that. I have aligned with my frequency, and in aligning with your frequency. When you choose you align with your authentic frequency. Things will shift, and be okay with it. Don't start crying. Don't wait, these people don't call me anymore. That's because they're not supposed to be there. Take things that are being removed as the intention is you're making space for what belongs. You're removing what does not belong to you to make space for what does belong to you. All you want is what belongs to you. Why you want other people's shit? You don't want that shit. It ain't gonna work for you anyway. So when you have other people's stuff, it don't work for you. So what you want to do is give them back their shit. Get rid of all the shit that don't belong to you. Make space for what's yours. And live in peace. Simple. This matrix makes you think that life is so freaking hard. And it's not. Life is not hard. Life is what you make it. Life is what you think it is. So if you think life is hard, it's going to be hard. It is that simple. When you wrap it around your head that life is simple, it's the game that has made you think that it's hard. I've never had issue when it came to money. Money always was with me, was attracted to me. And it wasn't a thought, if that makes sense. Money is a frequency. Money also has a consciousness. So, money, you can repel money, or you can invite money in and have fun with you. So me and money we used to have fun together. I mean, I never abused money, never chased after money. Me and money was cool. And then it got to a point where other people start seeing how me and money communicated. And that's when the manipulation and to try to get money out of me. And so instead of setting my boundaries and saying no, I was still in my people pleasing, didn't want to hurt no one's feelings. I kind of pushed money back. And it wasn't a rejection to money that I was pushing money away. In my eyes, it was protecting money because I didn't want anybody to take it from me. And so this was my logic. Don't come for me. That, well, if I slow down and stop making money like I used to, maybe people will stop trying to take it from me. But then it got to a point where I had pushed money away so far that I couldn't, was trying to figure out, well, why we don't kick it like we used to. So I healed my relationship with money. We had a conversation, and I explained to her, because money is feminine, I explained to her that it wasn't her. I had nothing against her. In my mind, I was protecting her, and I went about it the wrong way. In protecting her, I needed to stand on my business. I needed to stand my boundaries, not push her off to the side to try to hide her from people. No, you stand next to me and I will protect us, not just hide you so people won't take you, but then they taking advantage of me. No, we're going to stand together and I'm going to protect us. So me and money, we cool now. And I tell you this so people can understand that your birthright is to be abundant. All the limiting beliefs that you have, whether it's money, success, even this word humble. Humble don't mean broke. Let me say it louder for those in the back. Humble does not mean broke. So those that have that misconception of thinking that if you're spiritual or, you don't need to have this mansion and this, that, and the third. If somebody gave you a mansion and you didn't have to pay for it, I'm pretty sure you won't say, no, I don't need a mansion. No, you're going to pack your shit and move into it. Humble does not mean broke. It's what you do. Money will amplify who you are. So if you're an asshole broke, you're going to be a bigger asshole with some money. And you will lord it over people. No, having money does not change people. It enhances who you are. If you're giving when you were, and I don't like to say the word broke because that's a lack thing, so let me not say that. When you're in lack, when you have your resources are low, but your heart is still giving and caring, and you have that. So now let's figure out why your 1 and 1 is not equaling 2, because you have the heart, but you're not on a frequency. There's something with your connection with money. You have to heal it. You have to find out what is it. Go to the root. What was the first time you had an issue with money? I used to hear growing up, money don't go on trees. And I used to come back and say, well, trees make paper. That's a smart ass. Trees make paper and money is made of paper. So you can't tell me money don't grow on trees. I would get the side eye from my mama. But I was right. Trees make paper. So you can't tell me money don't grow on trees because paper, ain't money made out of paper. Okay. So, I would make a joke out of it, but I didn't believe those things. Well, there's some people, you got to work hard to be successful. No, you don't. Because I've been on both sides. Okay? I worked hard, injured myself, and I seemed like each month I was making less. I couldn't pay my bills. Something was wrong. That math was not mathing. Something was wrong there. But Source taught me how to work less, rest. Rest. That's all I kept hearing when I was in the eye of the storm. Rest. And I needed that. There was many nights that I would sleep, maybe 3 hours. Actually sleep, not shallow, a deep sleep, maybe 3 hours. But I'm working 12 hours. Laying in bed trying to fall asleep 5 hours. 3 of those 5 hours, my eyes are wide open. Trying to have the TV on, trying to get, calm my mind and when I learned how to do deep breathing before I went to sleep, I would go to sleep. I learned how to relax. I learned how to focus on my breath. Breath work is powerful. You say that again. Breath work is powerful. I learned that I was shallow breathing. And in breath work, you're doing deep breaths. But it's in those deep breaths that you are releasing tension. Those of you who have unlocked your jaw. Unlock your jaw. I used to grind my teeth because I was so stressful. I was stressed out. And I didn't even know I did it. In my sleep, I will, like I'm gripping my jaw. And when I wake up, all here will hurt. And I didn't understand why. Until I caught it during the day that I took a deep breath. And when I relaxed my jaw, that's where I was like, is that where that headache was coming from? Because I got my jaw clenched and then going straight up, having a headache. Take your power back. Stop allowing people to push your buttons. Stop allowing people to have access to you to the point where they're telling you what to think, telling you where to go, telling you how to look, telling you how to dress, telling you who you should be. If they took half amount of that time to do all that for themselves, they wouldn't be in the shit that they was in. A lot of people project, especially those who try to tell you what you need to do for your life. Look at their life. And you tell me, can they tell you what to do with yours? Whether their life was 100% straight up, they still cannot tell you what to do with yours because they don't know what's in your contract. They don't know what you're here for. They don't know what your purpose is. Take the moment and breathe. And release. Now it's your time. Now, when you listen to my music, it calls you. It activates you. You can utilize it in a meditation. Take a moment when you're with yourself, when you're taking time to explore yourself, to get questions answered. You got 9 albums to choose from. Literally, this is my spiritual journey. When I was being activated, I wrote a song about it. You want to hear it? Here you go. If you know, you know that was a Gen X thing. Gen Xers, we have gone through, sometimes we have become adults before our time. We have been told what goes on in this house stays in this house. If you want to heal, go to church. That's a whole nother subject. I used to be a minister, an ordained minister. I understand organized religion, and I know the difference with spirituality. Always had a connection with Source, with God, with Spirit. Was always leading me. And sometimes after service, when I'm asking questions, those of you who ask questions in church and you get shushed, that was me. I would ask some questions because 1 and 1 was not equaling 2. Tell me, 1 and 1 was not equaling 2. I'm like, this is not adding up. And I learned that the Bible is about 85% truth, 15% manipulation. The famous King James Version that was placed in all the Bibles, all the churches. Read the King James Version. That's the best version, where King James also wrote the Book of Satan. King James, they all sat down and decided on which books was going to be inside the Bible and which wasn't. Not just books, which scriptures was going to be inside the Bible and what wasn't. And then the Bible was written over again with Jim Crow. And there was some scriptures that was added in there about slave masters. None of that made sense to me. It didn't. It contradicted with the spirit that was within me. And that's when I started questioning, what is the truth? And so it's told me, you really want to know? The first ascended master that I encountered was who the Christian church calls Jesus. His name is Yahshua. And Yahshua always guided me while I was even in church. And they would say what Jesus said. Hey, Yahshua, you're funny. I ain't say that. And at the time when I hear it, I'm like, okay. And then I'm listening to what they say and then go, I ain't say that. And I'm like, okay, you didn't say that. Tell me what you said. I want to know what you said. And oh my goodness, it opened up. And it's like, if you want to know, don't go with fear. If you want to know what the truth is the truth. Ain't nothing you can do about it. The truth is the truth. And so Yeshua told me what the truth was. Cool. We cool now. And that's a whole, we're in the age of Aquarius. We're in the age of truth. The truth about Yeshua. The truth about his life. The truth about his marriage and children. Yes, that's what I said. Marriage and children. The truth will set you free. He did say that. When you know the truth, it will set you free. And I said, okay, I want to know what the truth is because I want to be free. I've always, freedom has been my mantra. I just want to be free. Free my mind. My girls from En Vogue. Free your mind. The rest will follow. Yes, it will. I promise you, when you free yourself from the bullshit, free yourself from the lies, from the limiting beliefs, ask, believe, you receive. It's part of the truth. Ask, believe, you will receive. A lot of people are asking for a lot of shit, but don't believe none of it. Don't believe that they're worthy to have it. Don't believe that it's capable of happening. Don't believe, but they keep saying them mantras, keep saying them affirmations every day. Don't believe a damn word, not a letter of what's being said. And then step in, that shit don't work. It don't work. Okay. Life and death lies in the tongue. What you say is what you get. So if you go around complaining all the time, frustrated, Guess what? You don't get more of that. And so I don't like the term fake it till you make it. I like the fact of saying embody what you want. It took me a minute to understand how do I embody, not understand, because I understand what embody means, to become. I had to figure out, how do I become? So within is also without. So you have to be it inside before it can happen on the outside. So in order to change your outside, you have to become it on the inside. So that's what embody meant. And so I kept saying I wanted to be free. But on the inside, I felt like I was blocked. I felt like I was bound. I felt like I wasn't going anywhere, or the shit wasn't happening, it wasn't working. And guess what? That's what I got. What I felt on the inside is what I was getting. And so I had to change what I felt on the inside in order for me to see all this beautiful things that I see now on the outside. So on the inside, I had to feel worthy, to tell myself it wasn't my fault all of those things happened. It wasn't a me issue. It wasn't that I was less than. Stop people pleasing. Stop sacrificing myself for ungrateful folks. Because I could be bleeding, reaching my hand up for help, and I heard crickets. I heard crickets. Now, there are some who were there for me, who genuinely was there for me. Oh, baby, you're gonna, you reap what you sow, my love. You sowed into my life, and your life is going to be sowed into. Because I'm divinely protected, and those who came to my aid when I needed it, whatever it was, you'll be rewarded. I promise you, you will be rewarded. Same goes on the flip side. Karma's a bitch and she's my best friend. You reap what you sow. So this is what I mean by 85% truth. You reap what you sow. Ask, believe, receive. Power lies in your tongue. All of this is truth. Some people don't believe it. But they activate it every single day. They activate it every time they open their mouth. There's power that you are afraid of. So let me give you some relief. Fear is fake. False evidence appearing real. When fear or that nervousness or that caution or whatever it is that you feel when you're afraid of something, I felt it too. I've been afraid to open up my mouth. But I found out not just the words that I say transform and transmute, the tone that I have, my singing voice, it changes frequencies. It builds timelines. Every time I sing. So when you utilize my songs built my timeline. My songs help me quantum leap. That energy, that frequency, that vibration that's within those songs, the light language that's in the songs, the codes that are embedded in my songs will transfer to you. Because they weren't meant to just help me. It's to show you what they can do. Now go down to my playlist. My songs are on YouTube. Miss Nikki J, Divine Mystique. All of my releases are there. Go get activated.